We are going to implement CameraX in Java. Let's run the application again and you can see the preview in the preview view. And now we have to click on the capture photo. As we can see, the toast is now successfully created. Click on capture video. The recording has been started. The purpose of this video is to provide implementation of CameraX in Java because not everyone has shifted to Kotlin. Also, this video will be update of my previous video CameraX in Java because in that one we have used alpha version of CameraX APIs which are now outdated. Let's start with the implementation of CameraX new APIs. So let's start off with the new project. So in this project, the main activity layout has only one text view. So first of all, let's add the Gradle dependencies for the CameraX APIs. These will be available in the description of the video, so you can also copy from there. Hit sync. Okay, after syncing the project, now let's update the layout. So in this layout, we will be adding a simple preview view. Then we will have the capture button for the photo to capture the photo. And then we have a video button to start capturing the video. Let's remove the text view and replace it with the preview view. This is simply the layout implementation. So I will fast forward from here. The layout implementation is now complete. First of all, we have a preview view and then we have a bottom layout in which we have two buttons. One to capture the photo and the other is to capture the video. So let's start the implementation of the CameraX. Before adding the code, first of all, let's add the permissions in the manifest. So these are the permissions. The first thing in the CameraX is the camera provider. So first of all, let's get the instance of camera provider. So this will be from process camera provider. And now we need to get the camera provider. So for that purpose, first of all, the camera provider will provide us the future instance of this. So as you can see, this is the listenable future. Pass the process camera provider here. And now we have a listenable future. So after that, in this camera provider future, we have to add a listener in it. So for that purpose, first of all, we have to add a listener runnable. Second argument is the executor from the context compact. Pass the context as this. And in this one, now we want to get the camera provider from this listenable future variable. Camera provider is equal to camera provider future dot get. Let's add the try catch block here. After adding the try catch block, now we need to create a method for starting the camera. We can name this method as start camera X and then pass this camera provider. To start the camera, first of all, we need a camera selector. So the first thing will be the camera selector, which is from the camera selector. You can choose either one, back camera or front camera. And now we need to create a preview use case from the preview builder. So in this one, we have to call the new preview builder.build. After that, we have to bind preview view to this preview. So preview view will be available from the layout from here. Let's add that one, preview.set surface provider. We can now just get the surface provider from the preview view like so. After getting the preview view, let's now bind the two use cases, camera selector and preview, to the camera provider lifecycle. Add a new try catch block here. And then first of all, we have to unbind any previously binded use cases before rebinding. Call the camera provider dot unbind all. And now we have to bind the use cases. So camera provider dot bind to life cycle. So we can get the life cycle from this current activity by passing this. And now we have to pass the camera selector. And then we have our first use case preview. Add a catch block here. The preview use case is now completed. Let's run the application at this stage and see how it works. So at first, this application will not provide us the preview view. So please remember that I have not implemented the permissions of this camera. Just we have to go to the CameraX application info and then add the permissions from there. Let's run the application again and you can see the preview in the preview view. So now let's add the image capture use case along with the preview. So in this one, we have to call the image capture dot builder and now build. Let's add the field in the main activity. Now just we have to add the another argument in the use cases like so. Okay. So after this step, we have to add a click listener for the button, which is this one. So when user clicks on the capture photo, it should save that captured photo in the storage. So let's add a listener to this button. Binding dot capture photo dot click listener. When user clicks on this button, it should call a function which should capture the photo. Create a new method in the main activity. So first of all, let's add a check that image capture use case is initialized before we can proceed further. If it is null, then we have to return from this method. So the first thing will be to create a media store entry. So I will be using the current timestamp. You can use any of your preferred name. And then we want to get the content values. We have to put a new column in the content values. So the first column will be from media store, media columns, and then we have a display name. The name should be this one, and another one will be the mime type for this image. It will be same as from the media columns, and then we have a mime type which should be image slash JPEG. The last thing is to add a relative path for this photo. So this will be, we have to check that SDK should be greater than Android Pie. And then we have to add a relative path from the media store, images, media, and its relative path column name. And then we have a relative path, and that is pictures slash CameraX stable. Let's say this one. And then we have to create an output options from the image capture use case. Output file options. In the builder, we have to pass first of all the content resolver, and then we have to pass the URI, which is the media store dot images dot media external content URI. And now the third argument should be the content values which we have created earlier. And then we have to build this output file options. So the last step is to take the picture from the image capture use case. It is requiring first of all the output options, and then we have a main executor, and the third argument should be image saved callback. Let's just add a toast. For the exception, we just have to print the exception. All right. So let's test out the capture photo. Rerun the application. And now we have to click on the capture photo. As we can see, the toast is now successfully created. Let's go to the photos. As you can see, we have a new photo in the CameraX table relative path. For the video capture use case, this is the updated API. So this will be the video capture. Here we now have to call the video capture with output. So for the video capture, we have to get the captured video with the output. So with output method is requiring a recorder. So in this new API, the recorder API is now added in the CameraX. So this will be the recorder. It will be from the recorder builder. And then we have to set the quality. So for the quality selector from, we have to get the highest quality or your preferred one, and now build the recorder. And the last thing is pass the recorder to this one and create a new field in the main activity of the video capture with the recorder. Now just add the video capture and the use cases along with the image capture. Let's add a method for the capture video button. So this will be the capture video, set on click listener and new click listener, and this will be the capture video. Add a new method in the main activity. So first of all, let's check if the video capture use case is initialized as return empty. So first of all, before starting the new recording session, we have to stop the current recording. How we can check the current recording? Simply we can use this recorder. So let's create a field instead of a local variable in the main activity. So now let's create a name for the video, same as we did for the image capture. First of all, we have to add a content values. So let's just copy this and paste it here. Same as this one, and replace the MIME type with the video/mp4. And then we have a movies folder and CameraX table same. And let's just add a video in the last one. Now we have to create a media store options. Let's add a builder and we have to get the current content resolver, and then we need to pass the media store dot video dot media and external content URI, and then we have to call the build. Now we have to start the recording. To start the recording, we have to get it from the video capture use case. So video capture use case get output, and then we have to prepare the recording. So in this one, the first thing is to pass the context, and then we have to pass the media store options. So this will be pending recording. So let's start the recording. Start. Then we have to pass the executor listener, context compact dot get main executor. Then we have a listener. After starting the recording, it will give us different events. The first one is the video record start event. So let's check if it is the start one. From the video event instance of video event dot start. After the video is started, this event will be fired. Let's update the text of the capture video button. We have to make it stop capture. Let's disable the button also. Else we have to check if the video record event is instance of video record dot finalize. Here we will get the final video after the video is stopped. Here let's check if the video record event has error or not. If it has an error, we need to stop the recording. Let's create an instance variable of this pending recording also. Field in the main activity and rename it to recording. So in this one, first we have to check if the current recording has an error or not from this record event. And if there is an error, we have to stop the current recording, or else we have to save the recording and show the message to the user. In order to get the recording instance, the pending recording start will give us the recording instance, like if you see here. So this will be giving us the recording. Make a instance variable of the recording also. First we have to check if the video record event has an error or not. If the recording is not null, then we have to stop the recording and make the recording to null, and then just return from here also. And if the recording is successful, we have to show the toast to the user. Okay, so the last thing left here is when user clicks on the stop capture, it should stop the recording. In order to utilize the stop capture, we can use this stop capture text from the capture video button. So here, if the text is equal to stop capture, then we have to stop the recording, else we have to start the recording. Now we have to stop the recording. So it will be available in the, we can use the recording variable. First of all, let's check if it is null. Then we have to return from here, else we have to stop the recording. Recording dot stop, make it null also. When this recording is stopped, this finalized event will be fired. Okay, now let's run the application at this stage. Click on capture video. The recording has been started successfully. If you see the logcat, click on the stop capture. The toast is shown to the user. After the recording is stopped, the last thing left is we need to update the text of the capture video also. Make it as capture video, like so. That's all for today. If you like this video, hit thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe the channel. See you next time.